If you're contemplating divorce, going through a messy separation, or even if you were divorced a while ago, we feel for you. These experiences are really painful. And if you have children, it can be an even more difficult experience, particularly if you suspect that your former partner is turning your child or children against you. Parental alienation is a situation in which one parent uses strategies, sometimes referred to as brainwashing or alienating or programming, to distance a child from the other parent. If your former partner is persistently disparaging you in front of your child, this can lead to alienation and maybe even an accompanying syndrome. What is a syndrome and is it real? Well, in 1985, child psychologist Richard Gardner first used the term parental alienation syndrome to describe behaviors in a child who's exposed to parental alienation. How do other experts in this field of child psychology perceive the notion of parental alienation syndrome, or PAS? Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders lists mental health conditions recognized by the American Psychiatric Association. PAS also isn't recognized as a mental health condition by the American Psychological Association, the American Medical Association, the World Health Organization, but the DSM-5 does have a code for child affected by parental relationship distress, which PAS would fall under. While PAS isn't really considered an official syndrome in the mental health or scientific fields, that doesn't mean the situation and its mental health effects don't happen. Parental alienation is when one parent disparages the other parent to a child or children. For example, perhaps mom tells her child that their dad doesn't love them anymore, or he doesn't want to see them. Or a dad tells his child that their mom prefers her new family and her new kids with her new husband to them. Accusations can be mild or they can be really severe. This will definitely distort the child's perception of the alienated parent, regardless of how great the relationship was with that parent before. Equally, or even worse, this distorts the child's perception of themselves, as they are subconsciously aware that they are made up of parts of each of their parents. Children can begin to think, if daddy is a bad person, I must be a bad person too, because I love him and I come from him. The more a child is told or brainwashed to believe that one of their parents is a bad person, it could eventually lead to the child not wanting to spend time with that parent, or it could severely harm the parent-child relationship based on these false pretenses. The child can be programmed to fully reject a meaningful relationship with the other parent based on the alienators talking bad about the parent to the child or children. We refer to the parent doing the disparaging as the alienator, and the parent who is the subject of disparagement as the alienated. Gardner identified 8 symptoms or criteria for evaluating whether alienation is present. Number 1, the child constantly and unfairly criticizes the alienated parent. Sometimes this can be called a campaign of denigration. 2, the child doesn't have any strong evidence or real clear examples as to why they have these criticisms toward the other parent, just false reasoning. 3, the child's feelings about the alienated parent aren't mixed. They're all negative, with no redeeming qualities to be found. This is sometimes called a lack of ambivalence. 4, the child claims the criticisms are all their own conclusions and based on their own independent thinking. But in reality, the alienating parent is the one who's been programming the child with these ideas. 5, the child has an unwavering support for the alienator. They're getting really close to them. Nothing they do is wrong. 6, the child doesn't feel guilty about mistreating the hated, alienated parent. They don't feel any remorse about it. 7, the child uses terms and phrases that seem borrowed from an adult language when referring to situations that never happened or happened way before the child could ever remember. 8, the child's feelings of hatred toward the alienated parent expand to include other family members that are related to that parent. So they might start to take on a hatred or dislike or disdain for grandparents of mom's mom and dad. You'll also notice that the child will create a very strong bond with this alienating parent, and they'll start acting out during the custody transitions. Here are some things you should never do so that you make sure you protect your child from feeling alienation towards the other parent. An alienator might divulge unnecessary relational details. For example, they might disclose things about affairs that really have nothing to do with the parent-child relationship with the other parent, really just as a way to hurt the relationship between perhaps the parent that had an affair and the child. An alienator might also plan really fun activities during the other parent's custody time. For example, the alienating parent might say, "You're supposed to be at your mom's this weekend, but I was thinking it's the perfect weekend for you to have your best friend over here and we can do a sleepover and watch movies. So what would you like to do? Do you want to go to your mom's, or do you want to have your best friend over here and we can have a really fun time?" Related to the above, an alienator might frequently bend or break custody guidelines or arrangements inside or outside of court. On the flip side, an alienator may also refuse to compromise on a custody agreement. For example, if mom's birthday happens to fall on a day when dad has custody and dad is the alienator, he may rigidly refuse to let the kids go to mom's birthday dinner when mom asks, just to be really difficult. Also, secrecy may become rampant. There are many ways which this can happen. The alienator might keep medical records or letters from the school, report cards, any information about the child's friend, keep it all under wraps away from the other parent's knowledge. This can alienate the child from the other parent, because if one parent knows all of your friends and likes and what's going on in your life and your activities, that's the parent you're going to talk the most to. And related to secrecy, gossip can become really rampant if the alienator asks the child about the alienated parent's personal life, maybe asking questions about who's mom dating now, just to gossip and not really because there's any concern. How do you like dad's new girlfriend? Things along those lines. It's really inappropriate to involve the child in those conversations when there's no suspicion that the child is being harmed or in any sort of danger. The alienator become really controlling when it comes to the child's relationship with the other parent. For example, the alienator could try to monitor all the phone calls, record all the phone calls between the child and the alienated parent. They also will actively compare themselves to the alienated parent's new partner, trying to prove to the child that they love the child more than this step parent ever could, and really just to damage any potential relationship. At Hobson and Hobson, we advise our clients on how to avoid accidentally impairing a child's relationship with the other parent, and how to protect the child if they are being programmed by a former partner to reject a relationship with our client. Alienation and allegations of alienation frequently come up in custody disputes. Here at Hobson and Hobson, our mission is to ensure that children are permitted to have loving and meaningful relationships with healthy parents. Our goal is to do all that we can legally to keep the child in a home where they are wanted, loved, and respected. And we also want to make sure that their natural desire to have a relationship with both healthy parents is respected. The transition from partners to co-parents can be a delicate dance, and we're here to teach you all the steps along the way.